We're going to see if I remember how to ride this bike.
Can Travis ride his bike with no handlebars? With no handlebars.
With no handlebars.
No handlebars.
Oh.
Oh.
I got a notification on the Discord, which means...
As did I.
Yeah, there we go.
We're on YouTube. Buddy.
We're on YouTube.
Ooh, man, my head is so big. You guys zoom me out or something. Man.
I can't. I'm not. I'm
gonna try to sit farther back then, like, because I lean in and it gets it's a lot.
It is, but I don't know. Can't really do anything about it. All right, cool. Yes, welcome. Okay, so it says we're streaming on Twitch too. So I think we're good. I think hunky door. So yeah, we're on YouTube and Twitch. I don't have a active subscription for the Facebook thing, which is funny for Restream because I got on your Bearded Book Club show.
Yeah, I saw the comments. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I was kind of like, woo, because I was under Two Beards Play. YouTube channel's like, we love Bearded Book Club, and then I didn't see the chat pop up on stream on the video footage. I was like, wait a second, premiering, darn it.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Yeah, we started doing pre-records just because it got crazy busy. So it's like, hey, this will actually be better. Plus, people would pop in periodically in chat, but it really wasn't a lot of chat traffic,
Yeah.
So we were just like, hey, let's pre-record, and then later on we'll do more periodic live things to where people can like really look forward to them, and it's not like, oh, if I don't say anything this week, oh well, it's next week too.
I got you. Yeah, I can see like you want to probably do it more often than this, but in between books when you guys are doing like the voting and the figuring out what's next and stuff, those are fun, like live events.
Yeah.
But do you find it's because I know like reading and then like also juggling live view comments, does it flow better, I guess? Did that become an issue when live streaming? Like
it wasn't really like an issue. I could handle it just fine. But what I did notice is that I would read, and then when the chapter ended and I looked up at the computer to update the graphics, I realized, oh, people have been talking for like an hour. And I haven't responded to any of them. So then I would do a whole bunch of catch-up stuff. And so that's kind of the way it went. Or if I was on top of it, then it turned into more chatting than reading. So I was trying to find a good balance. And then once the chatting kind of like slowed down, I realized, oh, we're just doing a lot more reading. And it was so odd because I was like trying to get people to be like, hey, what do you like, this or that? Because my metrics are there. I've got views, I've got subscribers, I got all that stuff. Yeah. So I'm like, you guys are there. I know you are. But just no one will talk to me.
Yeah, well, they're just there to listen to your nice voice, and
the lurker army is strong. I had a buddy of mine said, I went back and listened to your entire read through of Dune, and I want to talk to you about it. And I'm like, oh heck yeah, buddy, let's do it.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, that was a lot of listening, my guy.
Yeah, but hey, it's there, and that's the great thing about the format of that channel. Like people are like, oh, what's this Dune book about? And they go on YouTube and like type in Dune and like, hey, there's Bearded Book Club. It's like, dude, this dude's gonna read the whole book to me for free.
Yeah, for free.
Subscribe and let's get this going.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm trying to get everyone to do. I'm like, I need you guys to subscribe. I promise not to blow up your feed. I do one video a week, okay?
Right. Yeah.
But those subscription numbers help. We can't all be Two Beards Play with 575 subscribers, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah. Yeah. Hashtag 1,000 before 2023.
It's the end of the year push every year.
Yeah. I was talking to Chelsea the other day. I was like, because I just had this past week off. I had a week vacation, and it's been a good like reset, defrag. It was totally a God thing because Chelsea had like emergency surgery this week.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's like she's like up in the recliner on pain meds right now, like she had.
Oh, hold on. You have not said a word to me about this. I'm gonna take a stab in the dark. Probably a bad turn of phrase. But was it gallbladder surgery?
No, and I knew you were gonna say that.
Dang.
But it's close. It's close. She had 3 hernias.
Oh my god.
Well, she's had hernias near her belly button since she was like 3 years old, and like technically we were supposed to get them taken care of before we had kids.
I was about to say the pregnancy could not have helped that. Annie.
Right. But like, you know, my oldest is 11, and like, why are they just now rupturing over the week of Thanksgiving? Anyway, she went to Atlanta for Thanksgiving, came back, and like her whole stomach was like turning red where the things were, and it was hurting.
Ooh.
And the doctor's like she went to an urgent care because she couldn't get in with her normal doctor. The urgent care is like, I'm sending you to a surgeon this afternoon. The surgeon's like, I'm going to see you tomorrow for surgery. Like, that's bad. And so next day she was in there having surgery and had 3 fixed, and she's in a lot of pain right now, but she's also on a lot of pain meds right now. So she's pretty even.
Hence the reason you got a PS5.
Yeah. So back to that story.
Travis sends me a picture of him randomly this week outside of GameStop holding the God of War Ragnarok PS5 bundle, and I'm like, okay.
Well, we were kind of talking about this off stream, but Trey is like, I hope the Nelsons are okay. They're like selling a whole bunch of stuff on Facebook, which we have been. We've just been cleaning house, and
if you don't know, it's things like, you know, old, like, here's an old car we don't need anymore. Here's a couple other appliances. Oh, and here's my daughter's bed. She needs to get rid of this. And I'm like, whoa.
No, okay, so the bed thing, I don't care if we're on tangents all night. I'm just happy to be doing this.
This is just a good time, yeah.
Yeah. So the bed thing is she had a loft bed, and she's used to us like at night coming in there, laying down with her, talking, praying, whatever, just kind of hanging out with her. Yeah. And us 220 people in the house can't climb up on a loft bed with her, and she's like, I don't like this. Like, I want to be able to snuggle you guys. I want you to be able to come in my room and lay on me. And she's like a little preteen, so she's like, I think it'd be cool to have a futon because like I want to have a couch in my room.
And she's got to enjoy that now because there is a window of your life where you can rock a futon and not have any repercussions. Yeah. But once it closes, it's gone.
You don't sleep on a futon past like 25.
No. After that, you're done.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah.
I can remember when I was a teenager, loved a futon. It was the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Now I see a futon and I like shudder.
And so we got her a futon. I actually got it from Dirt Cheap for like $60, brand new. It was a steal.
That's one of your spiritual gifts, yes.
It is, really. Like
Dirt Cheap is one of your spiritual gifts.
Yeah. And anyway, so yeah, we went there, got it, put it together, and so I took her bed apart and we sold it and did that. Anyway, so getting to the PS5, also leading up to my week off, I worked like 3 extra days, and those 3 extra days alone was pretty much enough to cover for the PS5.
Well, I believe it. Yeah.
And
you got you a good job, sir.
Well, it's very manual work, so it equals out. But yeah, so I was like, me and Nona May, she wanted to go Christmas shopping for Chelsea and Eden. I like divide the kids up, so one day I'll take Eden out, one day I'll take Nona out, and it was Nona's turn. So I took her out, and we were bebopping all around town, and we've done hit up a couple places, and we were going to Target. I was like, hey, GameStop's right here. You can go look at GameStop. I was like, sure. So we go in there, and they have in-store, this is new to me, in-store PS5s. Like, you can just walk in and buy them now. And I'm like, this is fantastic. And I took
they finally got around to doing that.
Yeah, and I took a picture of it and sent it to Chelsea because, you know, she she follows this stuff too. And I was like, look, they're in store. And she's like, no way. And I was like, technically, I mean, I could buy one of these right now and we'd be all right. And she's like, okay, do it. And I was like, What? Are you telling me yes because you're high right now from the pain meds, or because? And she's like, or because like Christmas, and she's like, yes.
She said yes, both.
Yes. And
so you take the PS5 home and you don't even like crack a seal on it until she sobers up a little, just to be able to confirm.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get home. I'm
opening it in the car, like in the.
No, actually, it's funny. I bought it. We went to Michael's next door to get her some yarn. The girls have been, well, Nona and Chelsea have really been into crocheting, like really big.
Right. It's a great hobby.
They picked that up here in the past few months. Jeremy Cote taught them how to do it, and they just been running with it. And so Chelsea wanted some yarn so she could crochet while she was basically bedridden, couch ridden. And so we do that. And then after that, Nona has joined Junior Civitan, and we had a Junior Civitan meeting I had to take her to, which was like an hour long. So we get back like way later after I buy it, and I get home, and Chelsea and Claire are watching this horrible movie. It's on Netflix, and I just have to call it out for how bad it is. It's called like The School of Good and Evil.
I've heard of this, and I'm like, no. What is this? What is this?
So Jeremy and his wife Brooke are like, this is such a great movie. Talking to Chelsea, and I think they did it on purpose because they knew how bad it was.
That sounds like the Cote, I know.
Yeah, and then also like another friend of Chelsea's like came by because we had people bringing us dinner because Chelsea coming out of surgery, and she saw that it was on TV. She's like, "Oh, this is so good. Have you finished it yet?" And she's like, "No." Blah blah blah. I caught like the last 30 minutes of that movie. It is like the worst Disney produced. It's not made by Disney, but if you watch like Disenchant, whatever that show movie is, it's like cheesier than that, and it is so bad. But I'm like sitting there in the dark because she's got all the lights off, and I'm taking out the PS5, and my desk was in the living room at this time, and I put it on the desk. I'm like trying to be quiet and hook everything up. At the same time, I'm reminiscing of your PS5 open box video.
really janky video we did, because that was back when they were really hard to get.
Oh, hey, we've got God in the chat. I am God.
Yeah,
have you played
I saw that.
Modern Warfare 2 yet? No, I haven't. And
neither have I.
I don't want to pay for the single player campaign or the game. I might try out the battle royale thing that they have out for it, but probably not. My reflexes in my old age have gone. So,
and I got a buddy that's played it, I believe, and he said this is the most realistic one yet. They're like, there is no you get popped a couple of times and then you start slowing down. He's like, you get shot and you die, because that's how real life is.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, I've heard it's great, and people are loving that it's super realistic now. But he's like, and I play on easy. He's like, I'm here for story first.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I don't know how anyone could ever get past that. I'm like, that's freaking scary to think about.
Yeah. So I've like setting it up in the dark and getting it all updated, and then I got the scratch off code because I was a little bummed. I was like, I got the God of War edition. I'm gonna get the game because it's gonna be awesome, and it's just a scratch off code. Like you don't get the physical copy. I'm like,
yeah, those days are gone pretty much.
Yeah, they really are. And so I scratch off the code, and it's like a 70 to 80 gigabyte download. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let this download, and then I like start taking care of Chelsea. But I am surprised how tickled I am to get one, and it took me a couple days to like feel okay with purchasing that because it was totally an impulse buy, which is a horrible thing to impulse buy. But at the same time, Chelsea's like, you work your butt off. Like
you do, Travis. I will second that notion. You work your butt off, sir.
And she's like, treat your freaking self. Like you worked your butt off. We've sold a bunch of stuff. Like just get it. And I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm. And if you need to, make it Christmas, your birthday, Father's Day, whatever it is, you got to jumble in there. That way, anything else you get, be like, oh, that's nice. And the kids can just like draw you a birthday card, and you'll be like, this is the best.
It is the best. Yeah. I am God. Yeah, some people say it's the best Call of Duty game ever. Oh, that's good, because I'm like, I was a huge fan when the actual Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2 came out way back in the day. Like I played it a whole bunch because that was like it. Like that was the game everybody was playing. And I mean, I know Call of Duty is huge, but it's kind of fallen off here. And I hope that it.
Plus, I'm getting to the point in my gaming career now where I'm just like, people are like, I really hope this is good, and people are like, this is turning out to be a great game for this series, and I'm like, good. I don't even care if I don't play it. Everyone needs good video games in their life, you know?
Yeah. Emily Price in chat. Trey, did you talk about our 5-cent internet news? What is this?
Yeah. Okay, this is a bonkers story. And we're sorry if we don't talk about D&D this week, you guys. We'll get to the D&D 1 stuff as soon as we can, if not next
If this is your first time tuning into Favored Terrain, this is not normal. This is us catching up after a month of taking a break from the show.
Not doing a show, yes. Yeah. This may be an in-between episode.
Yeah, I'll change the title later if I need to.
Yeah, this will be episode 20.5.
Or this might just be a Two Beard Say, whatever episode we left off way in the past.
Oh, God. We only did like 8 of them. Anyway. Okay, so the 5-cent news. So I'm at work, and Thursday or Friday, it was not that long ago. It was just a couple of days ago. It might even have been Friday. And a buddy of mine in one of our group chats says, hey, y'all need to call our local internet provider.
Yeah.
You know the one I'm talking about. It's the one in the area. And, you know, they recently got bought out, and they are now a C Spire company. Okay. I don't feel bad saying that because this is a big corporation. And he said, hey, a buddy of mine did this, and I just did it. You know, at first, under the old management, our local internet providers were offering us 100 up and down, right?
Yeah.
And he said they now minimally, the slowest internet you can get for them is 300 up and down.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's not probably good. And he's like, oh, they'll let you upgrade for 5 cents. I was like, did you type that wrong? Did you mean like $50 or something like that? And he goes, no, a nickel. And I was like, what? And I called, got the girl on the phone and was like, hey, my buddy said this and I'm due for an update. What do y'all got going on? And she was like, well, yeah, I can get you this. I can get you the 300 up and down and it'll be 5 cents more. And I'm like, yes, please. So now I have tripled my internet speeds for 60 cents a year.
That's fantastic, Trey. I'm so excited.
And then here's the other kicker. She said, now, if you wanted the fast internet,
can
get you, she said, we can get you 1,000 up and down. And I was like, oh my word. I didn't get that one.
Was that another 5 cents? What did she give you a price on that one?
It wasn't much more than what I was paying, honestly. Like, I could have feasibly done it, but I'm like, I was rocking and rolling with the 100 up and down. I don't know if I'll ever need 1,000. Maybe when I got a few more kids and they're all running all their electronics and stuff.
Preach.
Yeah. Maybe when that's a thing, maybe. But right now I'm like, no, man, this is 3 times as much internet as I need.
Right.
But it was really good. Oh, chat's blowing up. I'm loving this.
Yeah. I am God. What game do y'all think is winning game of the year? God of War. I am
God of War. Yeah.
Dude, have you finished it?
No, I have not because you know me. You know me.
You're a completionist.
I see math. Yeah, Emily is struggling with math. Yeah, I'm with you, dear. I get it. But yes, I'm a completionist. Yeah. And so I am like, and to give you an idea, you know how I play video games. The side quest comes up, that's now the main quest.
That's the main quest. Yeah, I'm the same way. All right, I've been treating it
main quest.
I didn't treat the first one that way because I was borrowing it from you, and I was like, I just want to get through the story. I want to enjoy the game because I'm going to give it back to Trey. This one, like, yeah, I'm the same way. Like, oh, this is the optional content. We're doing that first. Like, we're doing the side stuff first. Every time, and it does a good job of popping up periodically throughout the game to where you're like doing main quest stuff, and then they're like, "Oh, this is a story thing. You want to go check it out?" And I'm like, "Yes, please." Yeah. So let's see. When did I get the game? What day did I send you that text? That was not that long ago. But anyway, I have
been systematically playing through it twice. One is my game, where I'm going through and I am crawling and I am going to 100% this thing the first playthrough on my system. But Emily really likes the storyline as well. So on her profile on the PlayStation, we put it on easy and we're just rocking and rolling through that main story.
Nice. But you're playing it for her, so she's just digesting the story, or is she playing it and you're watching? Or how's that?
I am playing it for her because
gotcha.
you know the combat's pretty intense. So she's like, I can't deal with the anxiety that comes with that kind of game. She's like, as soon as they take a sidetrack into Stardew Valley, you let me know.
Oh man, yeah, I got it Thursday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and now Sunday. I haven't had a chance to play it today, so today doesn't count. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I've put 10 hours in it already. Like I've been I've been off work, so like it's been a lot of, because my body still wakes up 5-6 o'clock in the morning even when I'm off, and so like I'll get up, and I'll get a good several hours before anybody else in my family is even moving around in the bed. And so I've been playing a lot in the morning, and then during the day Chelsea's up and been taking care of her and whatnot. But what was the last thing I did? Because I get so antsy about my dudes dying. I get that. Let's see, what's the last thing I did? I just I'm gonna mispronounce the names because I'm bad with pronouncing things. But the
I will do my job and correct you. Go ahead.
Alfheim, is that the Elven?
Yeah, Alfheim.
Alfheim. So I just did that with the giant guy. I can't remember his name. Lear?
Say again?
The giant? What's the giant's name? Lear?
Which one?
The god of war. The god of war for the giants?
Oh, no. Tyr. He's not actually... Yeah. Tyr. Tyr.
Yes.
Don't
spoil it.
I'm not going to spoil anything.
Yeah.
But I'm going to nerd on you a little hard. He's not a giant, actually. He's just a big dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was respected by the giants.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I mean this game also crosses over into my literary world because I'm big into mythology. So, dude, this series has always been like a perfect storm of my nerdiness. You know?
Yeah. I'm me and somebody was having a conversation about this. So the opening scenes of the game where you first meet Thor and Odin. Thor,
I know, out the gate,
right?
Oh,
like Thor's on par for all my expectations of what Thor should be in this game. Odin over there, on the other hand, doesn't have like the accent I was expecting. He's more just kind of like
he's like this,
your goofy uncle, but also like a crime lord kind of character.
Right, and he's very much got like a northeastern accent. He's like, and you're like, this is the like All-Father?
Curb Your Enthusiasm going on here.
Yes, very much so. Emily said, and I also am a total immersion viewer with all types of media. I get way too attached and wrapped up in the story. Jump scares are not my friend. And there's not a lot in this series, but every once in a while, they love, like, suddenly, boom, you're in a fight. And Emily's always like,
yeah, it gets really cinematic all of a sudden.
Yes.
Like, the camera, you lose control of the camera, and then you're just kind of like, this is what's going on.
Emily, also hashtag Fat Thor. That's right. Fat Thor is canon Thor.
Love that. I am God. Who do you like more, young Kratos or older Kratos? I'm going to be real. I haven't played any of the original God of War games, so I'm all old Kratos.
Hey, you're pro old young Kratos or old Kratos?
I'm old because that's all I know. But
so you want bearded dad Kratos?
Yes.
Okay. They're great games. Don't get me wrong. But I definitely like older Kratos just because I feel like the character is a little bit more nuanced, you know?
Yeah.
Like he's got a son and he's like trying to be a dad where he couldn't before because of backstory and all this other kinds of stuff. So I feel like this one is just a little bit deeper, you know?
Yeah.
So I like dad Kratos a little bit better just because of that. I always like good character development. But younger Kratos from back in the Greece days, that was an epic story, don't get me wrong. Like it is full tilt Clash of the Titans epicness the whole way through. Emily said old Kratos has so much depth.
I know.
So you said, Travis, that you've done the you've gotten Tyr out of jail, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Then yeah, you were in Svartalheim. But anyway, did you catch that one little bit where like they're falling in the train and Atreus is like cussing like crazy and he's like, and then later on they're like, where did you learn such language? And there's this total dad moment where he's like, hey, cut me some slack. I thought we were gonna die. And Kratos like leans in and he's like, do you really want that to be your last words? And he's like, well, no. And I'm like, what is this dad dialogue going on here? I was not ready for.
It was totally like a Christmas Story moment too, like where he says the F word, helping his dad change the tire, and his mom's
fudge.
like, yeah, and his mom's like, where did you learn that word from? And the narrator's like, I've heard my dad say that word 1,000,000 times, but he's like, I'm not saying where I heard that word from.
That's right.
Would Kratos be considered a barbarian or a fighter? Oh, barbarian more so, I think, because he gets the Spartan rage.
Looping in the D&D. Well, yeah, there's the rage. I feel like it would, at this point, it's definitely multi-class.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's definitely a bit of both because he is a general. He was in the military, so he is fighter, but that rage is pure barbarian and stuff like that. I feel like Ragnarok is more based on Atreus more than Kratos. This one feels like it goes back and forth pretty good. I don't want to give too much away for people who haven't played it yet. But there is just as much other character involvement as Kratos this time.
Oh my god. So favorite freaking scene so far, and I just left it on my TV for like maybe 20 minutes while I was like going around the house.
Oh, I think I know what you're going to say.
Them eating dinner together. I was like, this is the best thing in a video game I think I've ever seen. Like, I
loved it too. I just sat there. I think I even went and like made a sandwich and ate just because.
Just ate with them.
I can't wait until someone like just records that for 10 hours straight and puts it on YouTube, because that's my new lo-fi, y'all. Like, just those group of dudes sitting around awkwardly eating dinner. And I told Emily, this is like the quintessential men hanging out moment. Because we don't have to talk.
No.
We don't.
We only say something when there's something important to say. And that's what they do. It's just like a whole lot of awkward, not really awkward, so just silence eating. And then, like, Kratos will say something. And then it'll go back to, like, 3 to 5 minutes of eating.
Of dead silence.
And then somebody else will say something. It's just like, that's normal.
Atreus would be like, we can go whenever you're ready. And that's it for another 10 minutes. It's so great. And Emily said dinner is ASMR royalty. Yes, it is.
It's like
I really hope there's more instances of dinner in the game, because I haven't beat it yet. So
I was just about to say that, Emily. She said it's like the nerd holiday Yule log fire. I was thinking, like, instead of putting a fire on for the fireplace, you just put them eating, and that's like your ambience. That's your holiday ambience.
Yeah. I said I'm ready for someone else to make the video. We should just make the video. The next time the prices leave the house, I will get up to that point in the game, and then I'll just like record it on the PS5 and let it run while we're gone, you know? And then I'll just go into the editor on the PlayStation, whatever it's called. I can't even remember what it's called. And I'll just like loop it. Yeah. And I'll just loop it for like 5 or 6 times, and we'll put it on the internet. We'll get 1 billion views. It'll happen.
Yes. Oh man, I'm loving this game.
So good.
So it's the only game I got so far. What PS5 games would you recommend that are already out that you've enjoyed? If you've got,
I would recommend. Well, first of all, dump all of your PS4 games on there.
Yeah, I haven't renewed my Plus yet, but.
Right. Well, I was going to say, first of all, get all your games on there, because a lot of those games were gearing up for the PS5. We just didn't have the PS5 yet. And there are already PS5 versions for those games. Yeah. If you put them on there, they will say, hey, you want to do the PS5 version? No Man's Sky, Travis. That's all I'm going to say.
Have you played it, the PS5 version?
Yes, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. No Man's Sky is still No Man's Sky, but it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. And the second thing I was going to say is renew your Plus because they're getting good games out there now every month.
Are they?
Yeah, there are other stuff where people are like, "Oh, I wanted this, and where's my gaming library, and I want to do the play it on demand kind of stuff." And I'm like, "Forget that, man! I just got all 7 Harry Potter Lego games for free this month."
Nice.
Yes, and then it's good stuff. Like periodically, there's a month where you're like, all right, whatever. But some months, when it hits good. Is what I'm saying. So definitely make it happen.
Yeah. Whew. All right. Well, that was 30 minutes of catching up and reminiscing. And
yep. We have another question though.
What's the best protagonist in all of gaming history? Ooh, I don't know.
That's hard.
Give me a second. I have an answer to this. I just can't remember the name of the game.
It's Halo, Travis. No, I'm joking.
No.
There's so many. Emily said Qbert. Oh man.
Oh, I'm gonna say this is kind of a joke answer, but it's also serious. The little boy from ICO.
Oh,
because he had to haul that woman around everywhere. It was like,
he's also the same kid. Presumably, that's the same kid that goes into Shadow of Colossus, right?
They are all connected. All 3 games. That Last Guardian, Shadow of Colossus, but I'm not sure of the connections. No.
Yeah, that's a good one. He said, personally, Arthur Morgan and Joel from The Last of Us. I'm like, that's a solid. That's a solid pick. It really is. I have different ones for different genres, you know? Like, if you were going to give me, like, an epic hack and slash, I gotta give you Kratos. But if you were, like, wanting more of a story-driven kind of thing, I would say anytime you play a Fable game, whatever your protagonist is, that's the best protagonist because you are getting such a great experience. And that might be a cop-out answer, but I love a game that gives you autonomy like that.
Man, you said The Last of Us, Joel. Like, that's such. I played both of those games, and those are way up on my list of probably some of the best games ever made.
You know they're making a TV show.
Oh, I know, and I'm very much ready for it. It's coming out in January. I love the AI nanny in that one game we played in the last year.
The AI nanny. I'm trying to remember what game she's talking about.
Huh.
You're gonna have to give me some details, Emily, because that's drawing a blank for me. AI nanny in that one game we played in the last year. I'm trying to think of the games we have played together because that list is way shorter than the games I've played.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough question for real. The best protagonist. Because I've got so many favorites. And there's so many different. Or the droid.
Oh, she's talking about Detroit Become Human.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the female android in that is and that was a great game. I love those kinds of games too. The Prices love a good story-driven game where it's basically a choose-your-own-adventure thing.
Yeah.
Like, we will sit down and we'll devour those games, and we'll play them multiple times trying to get all of the outcomes, you know? Yeah, that was so good. Nah, the best protagonist in gaming is your Skyrim character. You can choose your own destiny. That's a solid one, too.
Yeah.
Because Skyrim is still releasing content. They're still going. It's insane.
Yeah.
I think about it every November 11th, which is also Memorial Day, and I should probably think about Memorial Day first. But, you know.
That's true. I'm so.
And then I always check in on how little Dovahkiin Jones is doing, or whatever that kid's last name is.
I'm telling you, I would have took that chance too.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited for Starfield. So pumped. I'm just like, it's coming. It's coming. I know they keep delaying it, but
you've been talking about Starfield for like ever, because I remember when we first moved here and we were getting hyped for all these games, you like showed me at the PlayStation big convention that they had, and you were like, look at this thing. And I'm like, holy crap. And we thought that's what No Man's Sky was going to be, but it's not.
Right. Yeah. Yep. I don't know. It just looks good. All the stuff they put out for it looks good.
There's a lot of things coming up that I'm super excited for. Like, it
Yeah.
feels like gaming is getting a good push in this year and next year. Emily gave us a good old Leroy Jenkins. He is the hero we need, not the one we deserve, or whatever that thing goes. That was in WoW, right? Yes, it was. It was in WoW, and I still get the biggest laugh out of that clip. I love it. Speaking of which, I've got a game that we need to get because I think it's going to be great for the show, for the Two Beard stuff.
Yeah.
And I might even have told you about it before. It's called Return to Moria. It's a Lord of the Rings game.
Okay, I'm gonna do the Google here.
Yes. There's a video, and it's great. So, you've seen Lord of the Rings, yes, Travis? You know
Yes.
that world?
Yeah.
Okay, I know that was a stupid question. I just had to make sure. And you remember when they go through Moria with all of the goblins and the Balrog fight and all of that?
Yeah. Yeah. Is okay, Moria. I've just finished the Rings of Power too. Is that Thorin's home? Or
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Durin.
Durin.
Yes, that is that place in
Okay.
its heyday. That's what Rings of Power is. So yeah, this game, Return to Moria, it's. I'm not sure what the time frame is. I'm assuming it's later on, maybe even in the Fourth Age or something like that. But like, you and your friends are a band of dwarves who are going to try to take back the mines of Moria, and it is like survival. Fight the evil, fight the darkness, rebuilding, like all that stuff you like to do in those kinds of games.
Yeah.
You get to rebuild it all from scratch. And
Alright.
it looks so good. You get to customize your dwarf, and I'm like, are you telling me I can be dwarves with my friends? Oh, I think it'd be great. I think it'd be a good time. You, me, Zach, whoever else wants to be in on it. It'd be like when we were doing Sea of Thieves all the time.
Yeah, which I'm down anytime for that. I miss that so much. It's so much
Yeah,
fun.
I said, wait, you said they're making a Last of Us TV show? Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a streaming only on HBO Max, I believe.
Boo.
Yeah.
I'll talk to my friends who sail the seas. Wink.
Hey, you let me know, and I'm down to clown. Yeah, which I'm excited for that. Okay, so I guess kind of switching gears, if we want to try to get into some D&D content.
We can kind of just talk general stuff if you don't want to denote a whole other episode to this. But I mean, I don't know, man. The new 1D&D stuff, that always feels like it takes a whole episode on its own.
It do, and there's a pretty good amount of
stuff. Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah. So that's fine. We can just chit chat. And then, so the Lord of the Rings Return to Moria. The logo looks weird. Like, that doesn't look like a very.
It looks very low res, doesn't it? Like,
it doesn't look
you
like
see
a Lord of the Rings style font. I don't know. It looks more cartoony. Something. Give me some media. What do we got? We got some screenshots. Oh, that sound.
The Forge is fine.
There we go. Oh, pretty video.
Oh yeah. This is Travis's. This is the reaction portion of the show, everybody.
Oh, well, I have it pulled up. Hold on. Okay.
Like I said, getting back on the bike. We're learning how it goes.
Here we go. I'll pull it up.
Okay, I'm going to mute my mic and listen to it with you as well. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
'Cause I don't want feedback.
Okay. Let me see. I did not get that far in it. I accidentally clicked on the bar trying to. There we go. Scrub through.
The Forge's fire has a long gone cold. Under the mountain of Durin's folk,
That's pretty, but I bet that's not gameplay.
a shadow took our treasured halls. Now it calls us back. Khazad-dûm.
Yeah, see, that looks nice. Oh, I want to be a dwarf. Craft and build. Oh, look at the armor. Oh, it's so fancy. I want to sing to the mountain, Trey. Yes. Oh, I hope the combat is better than that D&D game we played. Return to Moria. Spring 2023. All right, well, when it comes out,
Does that not look awesome?
it do look awesome. Let me see what else.
Yeah. God said I might have to get that Lord of the Rings game. Me and my brother are going to get 1,000 hours on this game. Dwart in the chat said that looks sweet. It does look sweet. I'm super excited. It feels like just epic. It feels like you're fighting all these things, and you're doing all this different stuff, and you're crafting and you're building, and you get to customize your dwarf character, and it just seems right up, obviously but also all of our alleys, where I'm just like, oh man, this is a good community type game, and that's what we love around here is good community games.
Yeah. Right now, you know me. Me and Jeremy always have a Minecraft server that we just got because it's pretty much free just to keep going, and we will play it until we've done absolutely everything that we could possibly think of doing, and then we'll just like hit reset on the server and get a new world
And start over.
and just start over from scratch. And so we've done that recently, and we'll go through spells too where we'll play it for a long time and just get sick of it and then play something else for a while. Like we did Minecraft forever, and then Grounded came out, the full release, and then we played that from like start to finish, and it is so much fun. That it's such a fun game. And then once we got done with that, we we're like, hey, I think it's time to fire up Minecraft again. And so to challenge myself, for someone who's played through Minecraft, all of it,
countless times,
I'm like, I'm going to basically live underground. Like, I'm not going to use above ground stuff. And so he found a village that he's like flipping and making awesome up top. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go into this mountain right here and do it. And that's all I've done. Like, I've just lived through the mountain. Like, if I need something to eat, I figure out how to do it in the mountain. And it's been a lot of fun. So I've got this really dwarvy home going on, and it's been fun.
I've always told you I wish I was good at the Minecraft, but I'm just not. And the only copy I had was like back when we still had our 360 rolling, and you got the free one, like yeah. I'm like, if I'm gonna play it, I need to get it on the PC and like do it properly. I know, because you see, I love like to see the creativity of people, and they make like those 1-to-1 scales in Minecraft of stuff, and I'm just like, whoa, the creativity on these people is insane.
Yeah. I see your Magnemite mic, so I have to ask, what is your favorite Pokemon? Yeah, my kids get stickers all the time, and I was like, I need to put something here on the mic. I've seen people do this. I'm like, you got a Pokemon sticker? And they just gave me this one, so I stuck it there. But my favorite Pokemons. Oh man, that's hard. It's gonna have to be one of the original 150.
I'm about to say, show your age. Pick the first gen.
Snorlax.
That's a good one. That's solid.
Yeah, like that's a mood that I vibe with right now. It's just the
oh yeah.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna get some.
Said mine's Gengar. Gengar is a solid one. I used to think mine was Gengar, but honestly, probably my favorite ones are either, it's a toss up between like Raichu and Arcanine, man. Like, I don't know why. I just really like those two Pokemon. Maybe you guys can tell me which one I would be more, Arcanine or Raichu. Ugh, Travis is doing stuff. He can't hear me right now. Y'all see that god awful abomination?
Gengar's up there too.
Yeah, Gengar's good. Yeah, especially back in my Edgelord days.
Okay, so this is I wish I could say this is my original collection, but I scored most of these from a yard sale, and they are like original first editions from like when we were kids. but like I just have to show off like so. It's not blurry. Oh, it's gonna be blurry. My camera's gonna be blurry. Anyway, but it's like legitimately cards that I had as a kid. And it's got like first edition on them, and it's like the trainer cards. You remember like the old trainer cards that were the cards like Erica's Ivysaur or Misty's Psyduck, stuff like that, like all those.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A while back, several years ago, me and Emily were trying to figure out stuff we could just do together, and I threw out we could collect and do Pokemon together, and she was like, she's like, maybe, and it quickly got put on the back burner for other ideas. But yeah, Dwart said Travis's Minecraft character diary entry, day 728. I'm proud to say another day spent without seeing the sun. Skin tone update. I am now transparent.
Yes.
And then Genesect from Gen 5. I feel like I do remember that. I played Pokemon pretty religiously up until about Silver and Gold. Because I remember,
is that the one with Lugia and Ho-Ho?
Yes.
Yes, that's exactly kind of where I dropped off to, I think.
Yeah, and then I got Pokemon Sword or Shield. I got one of those. Yeah. And I was like, okay, this is fun. I could get into this, but I just quickly realized that it's the same game. It's the same game. It's the same game, and yes, it's fun, and yes, it's wonderful, and yes, we love it. I'm not knocking it by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm like, okay, Pokemon is still Pokemon. Good to know.
Yeah. I will say Pokemon Arceus is phenomenal. Like that's
like the origins of everything, right? And it's like old school.
That's like, yeah, way back in the day, like with the creation of Pokeballs. Like you craft stuff in that game and like you get materials and all the Pokeballs are made out of wood. And
it was described to me as a Pokemon filter over a Breath of the Wild game.
Basically. But it's completely, well, I said not completely. You've got like 5 or 6 big regions that are open world and then like a main city hub. I think that's kind of like the Monster Hunter formula. I've never played a Monster Hunter game. But like there's no wild encounters. Like all the Pokemon are out roaming around. And so what you see is what you get. So if there's a shiny, like there's a little special tone that goes and you see the shiny pop into the world. And it's fun because you get to, like, if you want the Pokemon, you can go beat it up and get it real low and try to catch it that way, or you can figure out what food it likes and use stuff to like stun it and sneak up on it. And if you throw the Pokeball and hit it in the back, like, anyway, it's the open world formula that they did in that game and the way the story is, and then the way they did the Pokédex, because you're making the world's first Pokédex, I think. It's kind of...
Oh, it's like a handwritten notebook kind of thing?
Yes. And so a big part of the game, like its game mechanic and its fun, is going through and getting all these checklists done on each Pokemon. And so for each checklist, you get a point, and if you get 10 points, you've completed that Pokemon's entry. after you beat the game, minor spoilers here, the big legendary Pokemon... God, whatever, I can't remember his name, Arceus.
Arceus?
Yeah. It's like, come back and face me again once you've completed the Pokédex. I'm like, oh.
Challenge accepted, Pokegod.
Right, so now it's become like, I've got to go through each Poke entry, and it's like, I think there's 200 and something in this game, and like complete the Pokédex, which that's something I've never done in a Pokemon game, is complete the Pokédex. I'm like,
Neither have I.
I'm gonna do the story. I'm gonna have fun with it, but
and you know why we never did, Travis? Because some of those Pokemon you can only get by trading them.
Right.
And so we got shafted for completing the Pokedex because we couldn't do that.
You gotta have friends.
You gotta have friends, and we hated it. Anyway, Genesect is a metal bug that has a tank launcher on its back. I looked it up, and yeah, that thing looks pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Like, it looks like it could be a giant Megazord from Power Rangers. Dwart said Pokemon Stadium on N64 was really cool, though. Now that I think of it, I probably quit playing Pokemon once I got my PS1. I can understand that, and you're right. Pokemon Stadium was the quintessential Pokemon game for me for the longest time, and I wish they would do something like that, but in like VR. You know?
Ooh.
Yes, exactly. So you've got like this stadium feel to it, and you could have people going on all the time. And even if you don't feel like doing it, and you're like, you know what might be fun? I'm gonna go watch some Pokemon matches, and you can sit in and watch people's matches.
Nintendo, take some freaking notes. Like,
get me Nintendo on the phone. Get me on the phone with Nintendo. Your dad works at Nintendo, right?
I don't know my dad.
Oh. Okay, so before we get too sad, but yes, I think that would be really cool, really fun. Yeah. I mean, everyone's so gung-ho about all these sports ball things going on, like the World Cup. Right. Where's the Pokemon National Championships in VR? Where are they?
Let's be real, though. Like, how have we not gotten to the point where we can, like, go to a football listen to me, a football game?
This goes to a lot, you can tell.
I watch a lot of them ball sports. Go to a football game in VR. Like, I feel like the technology's there. Like, you get a stadium set up with some special cameras, and or even like have a camera set up in a seat that anybody can just log into. Like, everybody's going to be sitting in the same seat, but like,
heck, even if
as you look around, you're there in real time and you're seeing the people that are actually there. And like, that's just your seat. That's your viewpoint. Like, you don't get to fly around, but I think that'd be cool. Or I think maybe we should buy a 360 camera and just start going to games and selling this as a service.
Just doing it. I feel like we could. I mean, we could just tell all the football affiliations, like, hey, we're going to do this. You can make money off of it. So think about it. And this is all you got to tell them. You max out at so many odd people in this stadium. What if I told you I could quadruple that?
Right.
You're still selling tickets. Travis, why don't we run things? Anyway, guy said, I played Legends Arceus, but I didn't like it. I just like Gen 1 through 5. Just love the retro feel you get from it. I just love catching a team, fighting the gyms, and becoming the best trainer in the region. Dude, there's something beautiful about it. Like, it did get kind of, I won't say off the rails, but opening up the Pokemon world kind of made it feel too much. It's like the first time you play an Elder Scrolls game and you get through that main quest and then they're like, do what you want. And you're like, what?
Or yeah, you step out the prison into the open world and you're like,
yes. And you're like, I don't like it. Took me a while to get into Elder Scrolls. I'm not going to lie. Or it says Zoolander, who's winning the match, Pop?
Yeah.
There's a few NFT that if you buy, it basically reserves your seat for events, concerts, etc. Yeah, people were doing virtual concerts during COVID and stuff, but I feel like it's a thing that people will be willing to pay for. Obviously, you shouldn't pay for a full ticket, but I don't know. If it's something like that and you're getting the full experience, maybe you should buy a full ticket to get access to it. Emily said, we have a society of extroverts only. Introverts would be living the VR life. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, all the extroverts would go out and make the world happen, and us introverts would program it from the insides of the house.
Yeah.
Emily said, we need y'all to balance us. Dorit said, in a VR metaverse world will eventually be sweet. I mean, we've seen it go sideways. Ready Player One was an interesting concept, that's all I'm going to say. The Rivals from 6 to 9 just ruined it for me. The Rivals really kept it alive. That's true. That's a really good point. In the Pokemon games, when you had your rival and you named them and all that stuff. I'm going to tell a story on myself real quick, and it sounds so stupid because it took me forever. It was like, I was in my 20s before I realized what I had done with this. I can't quite remember which one it was, but it was early on. It was like Gen 2 or 3. And the one where you catch that one kid peeking into the professor's thing, his lab, and it just his name pops up as question marks. You know what I'm talking about, Travis?
I don't remember that specifically, but I don't remember which. I have to tell me which game it's from, and
I'll have to. Hopefully, someone can remember, or I'll look it up. But anyway, later on, after he breaks into the professor's lab, and you're talking to Officer Jenny, and she's like, "Oh, you met someone like that? What was his name?" And it's basically your opportunity to name your rival, like in all the games, right?
Yeah.
Stupid little Trey named him question mark because I thought that was his name. I'm like, that's a stupid name, but whatever. So that's what I did. I named that kid question marks because I thought that was his name. It never dawned on me till I was like in my 20s that I could have named him literally anything I wanted.
Oh my gosh. It's a mystery.
We'll never know.
So, but the games that you knew that you were naming your rival, did you have like a best friend IRL that you're like, that's going to be what I name him? I had a best friend growing up that we both played Pokemon, and my rival's name was always James because his name was James. It was just like my best friend growing up. And he did the same thing.
I didn't have like a staunch best friend for real until like high school. So they were always like Buttface McGee and stuff like that. You know, something like that. Or I remember one time when it was like red and blue and all that stuff, I actually just did Ash and Gary, you know, because I love the TV show. I think we've all done that. Yeah. But, you know, that was kind of it.
Yeah, it's kind of like with playing Legend of Zelda. Like, I don't feel right naming him anything but Link. And all the games. I'm like, oh, what's your name? I'm like, Link. Oh.
It's Link. It's Link. It's Link. There's lore that explains why it's always Link.
Dwart Lemons. I've always named mine Batman, or one was the Kool-Aid Man.
Oh, yeah. I did see a funny playthrough of it one time, one random game, and they named themselves I Never, so that every time they did something, it said I never used a Pokeball.
That's funny.
Yeah. Emily said Ready Player One was a total tech grooming thing.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. It was pretty solid. I thought the idea was cool. The novels are way better, because in the novels, they're able to use, like, certain things for royalty reasons that they couldn't do in the movie.
I got you.
Like in the movie, there's this scene where they're in a like a club in the game, in the world, whatever it's called. But in the book, the DJ at that club is R2-D2. So they couldn't do that in the movie for reasons. And I'm like, see, that kind of sucks though. That takes the whole charm out of it. Yeah. My first time playing Pokemon Fire Red, I literally couldn't beat my rival Blue at Nugget Bridge after you beat Lieutenant Surge. I literally reset my game and picked a whole new starter. Oh, that's good. I mean, we've all been there, too. We've all been there. Or I've gotten lost in Mountain Moon more times than I can.
Oh, shut up about Mountain Moon. Oh, that's so triggering.
Travis is going into like, oh, God.
Yeah. No, I remember losing to the rival and like having to go back through the bushes and grind a few levels.
Yes,
but like
it's rough.
Sword and Shield and Sword and Shield is really the newest one. I know Scarlet Violet's out. I haven't played it yet, but
I haven't played it either.
It was easy. Like, just I remember losing like just blazing through it. Like,
yeah.
And usually I could do it with one Pokemon. Like my starter, like as long as the type difference there wasn't, at my disadvantage.
Too crazy, yeah.
It's just like.
Well,
done.
I mean, you guys do realize that all of the old school Pokemon games were just the original Souls games, right? Like, that's what it was. It was just super hard, and we all had to learn to get good. It taught us perseverance, though. Like, when you were a kid and you had somebody that could legitimately prove they had beaten a Pokemon game, you were like, bruh.
Oh, yeah.
Always get lost on Victory Road no matter the Pokemon game. Dude, it's rough. Those are so rough. There was one where you have to do the waterfalls and all that stuff and the whirlpools, and I remember just like racking my little brain going, why can't I do this? Why can't I finish this game? I remember one time my batteries in my Game Boy died and I said, good! Like I was just so mad. And my mom was like, you might want to take a break. I'm like, I'm going to go read a book.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh man.
Yeah. Um. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pokemon.
Gotta catch them all.
Yeah. How's little Juju?
She's doing good. She's 9 months old now.
Stop it. And I haven't seen that child in person yet.
Yeah.
I will say when Nona and I were driving around doing Christmas shopping and I got the PS5, I was talking about, Trey's got one, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, yeah, we really need to go there. And I was like, you're right, child. Like, we really do.
We
It's like,
really need to go there.
no, like the kids really want to come visit y'all, and they say it quite often. I was like, I agree. I just gotta freaking find the time to do it.
Yeah, where you're not needing to actually rest,
Right.
Yeah. Hey, I got 2 weeks coming up off for the Christmas
break?
holidays. Yep. We're around because we said once the baby was born, we're not traveling for Christmas or anymore because we think she should have Christmas at her house. And Emily's parents are being really, really cool about it. They're like, even though we could very easily go to their house, they're like, oh, then we'll just do Christmas at Gigi and Papa's house on Christmas Eve, and then y'all go home and just have all Christmas at your house.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. I'm so excited for it. But yeah, we got time. We got stuff to do. And we said, I want to go to there. Dwart, I love that people are chatting. I love it. I just want to make sure I don't miss anyone. Dwart said, so I chose Squirtle the first time, and that has me prone to water types ever since. This is fun down memory lane. Do you remember the first time using the Nintendo X-Teen thing where you could play Game Boy on it? Yes, I do remember that. You could connect to the N64 or the Nintendo or something like that and play it on the TV.
I had it for the GameCube. It was something that went on the bottom of the GameCube, and you could put the Game Boy Advance games in there, or Game Boy and Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, all the little cartridges in there. I had that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Emily made a good point. They're going to need someone with a driver's license to bring them.
For now.
Yeah, she said we can't wait to have some time to visit. Yeah, it's going to be good. Yeah, I think we need to be serious about it and make it happen, especially once Chelsea starts feeling better and stuff like that. Dor said, sorry, my keyboard is broke, and I'm texting between test questions. Ah, yes. Procrastination and not paying attention to what you need to do. I'm God said, what's y'all's favorite game? Like, man, he's coming in with the hard questions tonight. Like,
do we know who God is?
I do. I know who he is.
Oh, okay.
Who this guy is in chat? No idea, but I do know who God is.
Yeah, same.
No, but I do know who that guy is too. I'm joking.
Favorite game? Oh.
Favorite game, man. That's hard because I take in a lot of things when I say what is a good game for me. And of course it's me, so it's just my things. I gotta have good story.
Yeah.
I gotta have, if you don't have story, don't even bother me. Great story. Replayability is big for me. My third thing is it better be a long game.
You like a long game?
Yes, because if I'm spending money on it, and, gone are the days of the $40 video game. We're all up in the $70, $75 range now for a standard game. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So if I'm going to drop that much money on it, I better have that many hours in this game by the time it's over. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I would have to say probably one of my favorite games. It would be a series of games. But if I had to narrow it down, it would be Final Fantasy X.
Man.
Because it had a great story. Replayability is through the roof. I still have not 100%ed that game to this day. And I will go back to it time and time again because I love it so much. But yeah, that would be like at the very top right now off the top of my head going off of my own criteria. But there are other games that I could say the same for. Batman Arkham games, I'll do that all day, every day, man. I get a hankering for it every once in a while. I'm like, I'm going to play the Arkham series again. Let's go.
Yep. Those are good. Oh, man.
What if he were one of us? That's a good one. Never had a favorite until Red Dead 2 came out. Never cried in a movie or game until that game dropped. It actually touched my heart. Dude, those are solid games. Like Red Dead 2.
I haven't played that.
I played a little bit of it because I think somebody let me borrow it for a bit. And what little bit I did, I knew I was not going to be able to truly devote enough time to this because my completionist mentality, I was all over the place. I was all over the place. And then the next thing I know, I had spent 3 hours playing dominoes. And I was like, I can't play this game. I'll never beat this game. There is so much in that game. Like, it's so good and so well done, and the stories and everything are so intense. I'm like, I love this game, and maybe I could do it if I was playing with someone, but me by myself, I'll get lost. I'll get lost in there. That's one of the games I won't be able to come out of, and that scares me. like you hear about actors taking parts and they get so deep in the character that they can't come out of them. That'll be me in Red Dead 2. Like, I can't go in there because I'm not coming out again. Dwart said Assassin's Creed Black Flag, solid choice on that one. That's a good one. Emily said first game we ever played were Fable 2 and 3, and then we played Kingdom Hearts. Yes, those are really good too. Say, I have so many.
Yeah, I feel like I have generational favorites. Like, I can't pick one, but like,
it's such a hard question.
But like, of each like gaming console generation and then kind of different phases of life. But like, you know, I could probably narrow down my favorite NES game, which would be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Manhattan Project.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, you were ready on that one.
Oh,
wow.
I love that game. And I'm upset I haven't picked up the Cowabunga collection yet because it's on there, and I was like, I want to relive my childhood. Super Nintendo, it's just got to be Super Mario World. Like, that is the best Mario game ever made.
Solid.
Yeah. N64, Ocarina of Time. I mean, that's just it. Well, I'm gonna come back to Pokemon Stadium because I never played it, and I want you to tell me why I should. But
okay.
Sega, Sonic Pinball.
Ooh.
Love that game.
Really? Did you ever get past more than level 1?
No, but I had fun. As a kid playing that game, I had a blast. Like, this is so cool. Did you play I've played the new Paper Mario. I've got that.
Oh, we want to play it so bad.
You can borrow
Paper
it.
Mario.
We're not touching it right now.
Oh, that would be dope.
I've beaten it, and Nona's beaten it, and we're the only.
Hey, you guys should bring it to us yourselves.
We will. That sounds like a plan. and it's a lot of fun. GameCube, Wind Waker. Favorite.
Dude, I loved Wind Waker.
Best Zelda game. Game. I like
Fun
it more
fact.
than Ocarina of Time. Ocarina is like set the standard for 3D, but like Wind Waker made it perfect.
Square business right now. Wind Waker was the first Zelda game I ever beat.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't beat Ocarina of Time until much later in life when I actually had the mental capacities of an adult to get through the water temple. Oh, well, we're getting great comments here. Emily said L.A. Noire. Yes, L.A. Noire was good. I really wish they would make more of those games. Dwart said, whoa, left field. Did you play the new Paper? Have y'all seen the new TMNT movie trailer? It's supposed to be really good. I need to get caught up on TMNT. I am bad out of the loop when it comes to the Turtles. Emily said Sonic Pinball is for masochists. Super Nintendo, Radical Rex, Sega, TMNT, Streets of Rage. Yeah, all solid. All solid.
All right, let me see. PlayStation 1 is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. The best Castlevania game.
That was a good one.
Like, I 200%ed that game because you can 100% it normal, but there's a secret way that you can get the inverted castle, and it's the whole game again, but the castle's upside down.
Backward. No.
And it's so good. That game is so good. PlayStation 2. Oh, Kingdom Hearts is probably my favorite game for that. I didn't have a PlayStation 3, so I'm not going to go there. 360. There's so much for the 360.
I feel like for you, your PlayStation 4 would be Destiny.
No, I wouldn't say Destiny.
Not your favorite, but you and Kote played a lot. Y'all got
We-
me into Destiny.
Yeah, we did. We did play a lot, and then Destiny just went off the deep end, and I don't know what they're doing with that game anymore.
Yeah, it kind of did go off the rails.
Yeah.
Dwart said Armored Core. That's a specific genre of game right there.
Let's see. What's the Final Fantasy game with the flying feather at the beginning? The music for that one is beautiful.
Flying feather at the beginning.
I have not played more than an hour of any Final Fantasy game. Like, they're not, turn-based stuff is not my jam. Even though I like Pokemon, it's different. Pokemon's easy. I just feel like I'm wasting hours of my life hitting a button over and over again.
I get you. I can understand it. Like I tell people all the time, turn-based stuff, you either love it or you're like, that's not my thing.
That's
not
my
thing.
I'm trying to think of 360. Oh, there's so many good games for the 360. That is like some of the pinnacle of gaming.
I'm trying to think of the Final Fantasy Emily's talking about, because it had to have been a later one if it had good music, because before a certain point all the music was just like computer generated stuff, like it wasn't very good. Oh god, Mafia 2 kind of got me too at the end. The Mafia games were good, and I wish they would do more of those. I like those kinds of things in video games because I like having a strategy and having a structure to go into, which is why I probably loved Shadow of Mordor so much. Like when you tell me there are legions of orcs and I can infiltrate them and take over and like dismantle from the inside, loved it. Loved those games. Solid games. Dort, the chat, what's your favorite game? Two Beards. Here's our top 10 50 based on platform. Yes, that's how we roll.
Oh.
You guys know there's never a simple answer.
No, okay. I think I've got my favorite 360 game because this is probably just based off how much time I put into this game over and over again, like multiple playthroughs. Mass Effect 2.
Yes.
Mass Effect 2 is the best Mass Effect game.
Well, Mass Effect 2, there was another one. Oh, I got mine for that. Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2.
See, I've never played those before.
Oh man, we gotta play those games together, man. Like you would.
Aren't they doing a
it.
remake of KOTOR for the PS5?
Yes, they are, and I am stoked. Like my tongue is going to eat through my brains when that game finally drops. I'm going to go crazy over it.
What's so great about it? I don't know anything. I know zero about this game except for Star Wars.
It's Star Wars D&D, but it's not hard and stupid.
Okay.
It's turn-based, but it's not. Like, it's an RPG. You've got all your different things, and you got different characters. You got great storylines, and it's all in the Star Wars universe and stuff like that. But then, like, the combat is kind of semi-turn-based, where you're putting in the stuff, and then the characters act them out. But you can, like, queue up attacks for a certain amount of times, and then you could just, like, go from there. Like, you're going to be like, all right, we're about to get into this combat. Chunk a grenade, heavy attack, and then stuff like that. But the best part of it was the relationship building between you and the secondary characters. You could go and talk to them and learn their history and gain their trust and do all these things.
So that's what I loved about Mass Effect 2. Like, that was like the best thing.
It was very much Mass Effect-y. And, well, I guess Mass Effect came after this.
Right.
But yes, it was very much the same. And you could go and do all that stuff. The great thing about the Knights of the Old Republic games is that once you become a Jedi, you can actually... I've heard that there's a way where you can get all of your NPC sidekicks to become Jedi as well. So it's like this, that you can do it so many different ways, and you could be a good guy, you could be a bad guy. There's all kinds of different endings depending on how you do it, and it's just so involved and in-depth. And I'm biased because I love Star Wars. It will always be good if it's Star Wars. So yeah, I mean, I think you'd get a big kick out of it. I have a penchant for turn-based RPGs that were done in America, but in the Japanese kind of style, where it's obviously an American game, but it's like that. Like I showed you Lord of the Rings: The Third Age that time. You remember that?
Yes.
That turn-based game where I got the name Hadhod from?
Yes.
Yes. Love that game too. One of my favorites. I'm missing things. I Am God. What is your least favorite game? There's so many. 360, it's cliche, but would have to be Halo. Halo, of course. Yeah. Emily said, I think it's Final Fantasy VIII. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Local multiplayer was the pinnacle of multiplayer gaming. It changed multiplayer gaming. For the good or the bad, it's up to you. And you could listen to your own music saved on the 360. We should bring that back. That was cool. I did like that.
Wait, Duarte,
that aspect.
Are you talking about 360 or the original Xbox? Because Halo came out for the original Xbox, and you could I remember we used to take CDs and put them in there and download the music to the Xbox to listen to, and I would just have the Xbox fired up just to play music on my TV.
Yeah. I did that too. I thought I was so cool.
Right? Because back in the day, I'm sure you did this, but when Halo came out and it was super popular to pile everybody in a house with their own TVs and Xbox and do the LAN party thing.
Oh, yeah.
We would do that for a whole weekend, 3 days straight of just playing Halo. And
so
it'd be
needed background music.
Yeah, and somebody, if they weren't playing, they just fire up their Xbox to play, System of a Down or whatever we listen to at the moment.
System of a Down, Good Charlotte.
But yeah, and it was so good. But if I had to pick my favorite Halo game, it's always going to be ODST.
ODST was solid. It was so good.
The story was great, the tone was great, and their whole, horde mode, I forget what they called it, but that was the best version of that.
Mm-hmm. Emily said a game with surprisingly compelling storylines, the BioShock franchise. And I forgot about BioShock, but she's right.
I've only played the first two. I haven't done Infinite.
Yeah, I never did Infinite either, but I was like, those were good games.
Yeah.
And even though it's and this tells you how good the storyline is, my wife, Emily, hates horror stuff, hates scary things, hates all of it on every kind of level.
I'm the same way.
She will watch someone play BioShock. And that game is creepy. That game is super creepy.
It is.
But it tells you how good the storyline is. Someone who doesn't like scary stuff is willing to watch it. Very, very interesting. May have been original Halo. I was rolling on Project Gotham, blaring Guns and Roses. Yep. And the Resident Evil franchise. I got a special place in my heart for Resident Evil. I know it's so scary and it gives me so much agita, but
I'm the same way. But for some reason, there was a short period of time on the GameCube when they remade the Resident Evil, the original one for GameCube, and they remade Resident Evil 0. For some reason, those two games I played over and over again and really enjoyed them. But you get me anywhere near Village? Or all this other new stuff.
I've seen some playthroughs of Village, and I'm like, oh my god!
I would have to question somebody giving me $1 million to play that in VR, like they have it, because you could play that in VR. I would do it, but it would take me a second to get the nerve with $1 million sitting on the table. That is how much I am not down.
That makes me think of this video. You might have seen it. It's this little boy playing VR, and there's a T-Rex or something coming at him, and he's just sitting there with his head down, and he's going, I'm done!
So, I Am God. Oh, wait, Duarte, what's the scariest game you ever played? I don't know. I just don't touch them, so I haven't really played that many. But one of the first things I put on this channel way back in the day was me playing a demo for the Resident Evil 7 that came out. The first
Is that one of the ones that we had to take off because we were too scared?
No, I feel like it's still. I'm gonna pull it up.
It might be on there.
But that was a demo, and I remember I had to do it in such a finagled way, because I was playing a demo, but I was recording it straight to my PlayStation, the video, but I was also recording the audio straight to my phone. So after I got it all done, I exported it onto a thumb drive and then put it on my computer and edited that way. And it was such a finagled mess, but it's it worked.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it. Here.
Yeah. But yeah, the scariest game, Dwart said his was called Jericho. It was the only game that scared him enough not to finish. That's a solid scary game if you can't even finish it. I can't remember what one was called, but I played a game back in the day. I was young. I was like 10 or 11. And it was a game, I kid you not, would access your TV settings and mess with your TV. I'm playing it, and then it suddenly just cranks the volume all the way up without my knowledge so that when a jump scare happened, it was extra loud. And I said, nope.
Wow.
Nope. Not doing that. Scared the bejesus out of me. In my opinion, Dilla, it wasn't that good. I didn't see it all the way through. I would have to watch it, but then again, Emily said we started Heavy Rain, but we didn't have time to get into it. I do remember it. I think we still got it. We could play it again because yes, it did look very good. Saying it right now, any of the Silent Hill games are the scariest games ever, dude. I played a lot of Silent Hill 4, and it was very creepy. So yeah, that's like up there. You think about scary games, that's one of it. What was the horror game y'all played sitting on the couch? Oh, dude, do you remember that? We played
it's like
Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's a funny video. It was you, me, and Josh, and we played this game, and we are just goofing off. We're not even. It's not dark
because it was Halloween. Like we were doing like a Halloween.
It was a Halloween special we did, but it wasn't dark. It was the middle of the day, you know. And then it's just three grown men screaming at a TV because it scared us so bad because it's a multiplayer game where one person is the serial killer and everybody else is trying to survive. So you're running around in the dark trying to escape, but the killer's out there getting you, and they just jump out of nowhere and scare the bejesus out of you every time. It was so good. Can't get an hour into any of the games without quitting out of fear. Oh yeah, Silent Hill. Silent Hill is very creepy. Yeah. Emily said, #nope. Yeah. But yeah, Silent Hill games are good. I enjoyed the Silent Hill games just because, again, the story aspect of it. But you're right, man. Like, Silent Hill games made you feel icky in some cases because they weren't all about the monsters. Yes, there was the monster aspect to it, but it was more about the evil inside of people. And you hear about these people who had horrible things done to them, and you're just like, "Ugh, this is weird."
I don't deal with that.
Yeah, and it was Silent Hill Homecoming, I think it was called. Where basically you find this whole history about this really jacked up family and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, Silent Hill is creepy, man.
Oh, I found it. It is privated. Like, it's not listed. The demo thing.
That means we got scared and said bad words.
Or it's probably more so there's a lot of bad words in the demo, and I was like...
Yeah.
And so whenever we decided to go family friendly, I was like, cut it.
Yeah, we got to get rid of that. And also, like, if we go through the work to actually edit a playthrough to where we're like beeping out or putting a sound over curse words, we really wanted to play that game.
You and the Plague's Tale.
Yes.
All the Wilberts.
All the Wilberts, yep, because it would just drop. Because it was so weird because I remember doing Plague's Tale. I committed to doing it because I'm like, oh, this looks really good. Let's do this. And then I'm like 5 episodes in before the first curse word gets dropped. And then it just bam, out of nowhere. And I'm like, what the crap, man? So I was like, I had to decide, am I going to just quit this? Because people were really enjoying the game.
Yeah, that one did get popular.
Yeah, people were really enjoying it. And I'm like, oh, what do I do? You know? And so I just soundbited Travis's little abomination puppet saying his name. And then that became our curse word cover up for that game.
Yeah.
It was funny because these super cockney dudes would be like, I don't give a Wilbert. It was pretty funny after a while. It definitely broke up some of the scary in that game. Was Five Nights at what's Five Nights at Freddy like? Kids love it, but I'm looking at it sideways. I'm not about that life.
It's not good for kids. I don't know why it's popular.
I don't know why kids like it.
The little bit that I've seen is basically you're the night custodian or whatever, or security person for one of those kind of Chuck E. Cheese type places, and you're sitting there in a booth and you're like looking at the CCTV cameras and all this stuff, but the mannequins start getting up and walking around, and if you don't do things in the right order and like the power goes off or something, anyway, they kill you. It's like
Yeah, it's scary. Murdoch in the chat, yo, we see you, buddy. We're just behind because everyone's like jumping in. What are we getting into? We're talking about video games. We were gonna do favorite terrain and talk about D&D stuff, but me and Travis haven't hung out and talked in like a month, so we're just like, hey, we're just gonna talk about things and have a good time and catch up. And then of course it naturally gravitated back to video games.
Well, I would say that's chat's fault because they keep asking us questions and we have the longest answers for everything.
We do. There's no short answer for us. Yeah. Emily said you also had to edit the last God of War. Yeah, I did because I thought it was going to be fine because, you know, all the previous God of Wars never had language, you know? So I was like, oh, I don't have to worry about that. It's just the extreme violence.
And some other content on there, wasn't there?
Well, yeah, you also can skip that. That's not like that's not like a have to. That's a whoa, this isn't a video game. Whoa, you know, kind of stuff. But yeah, like I had to do that, and I keep going back and forth on doing a playthrough of Ragnarok because there's language in that one too, and so I'm like, we'll see. I've been running the new Darktide game. What is Darktide? It's pretty fun. Is that Warhammer? What is Darktide?
Yeah, that's the new Warhammer game that just came out. It looks... The video I've seen looks very Doom. Like you're just running through, mowing down bad guys.
That sounds like fun, dude. There's something cathartic about those hack and slash games that just make you feel awesome.
I agree. It's like a first-person shooter like Doom is. The gameplay loop for Doom is fantastic. Doom is a fantastic shooter, but there's something that I just can't get behind when it comes to demonic stuff. Like, I'll mow through zombies and stuff, but if I'm like going through actual hell, it's like, I know it's just a video game, but it's still just like, I can't do it. I just can't.
Yeah. Left 4 Dead, but Warhammer. Oh, okay. I know exactly what it's like now. Emily said when Kratos developed feelings, he started talking more, hence the words. Actually, Kratos in the new game has not said one curse word. It's all the other characters.
All right.
Yeah. Because he's good dad Kratos.
Yeah.
With complex tactics, I prefer to be the demon slayer. That's a good way to look at that. Murdoch's got a point. Like, if you're fighting that, you are killing demons. You are slaying demons.
That's
but it's
true.
when you have to do all the other stuff to get further in and stuff like that. There's a fine line you walk with those kinds of things, especially if you're people of faith like we are. So then it's like, what do you invite in? Where's your hedge? You know, what is okay and what's not?
Yeah.
Have y'all ever played Valiant Hearts? That sounds familiar. Is that an RPG?
It's got very Castle Crasher vibes, just the art style of it. I looked it up because I knew it looked familiar, but I have not. Yeah. I also have St. Murdoch. I mean, to each their own. Like, you do what you feel comfortable and where you feel like is a good level. I'm all for that. I personally really don't like, especially like poltergeist stuff and like movies that have to deal with that. Like, I really I'm really sensitive to that stuff. It just affects me. So I'm just like,
it's a little too real, you know?
Yeah.
Don't let him off the hook, Trey. You should play Pokemon Stadium on stream. Hey. Am I hearing that the next 24-hour Two Beards stream?
Dude, I don't know if I could do that anymore.
Every year I bring this back up, and Travis is like, I don't know, man. That's a long time, and we never do well. Like, we always almost die.
It really feels like it, man. That when this coming up on 24 hours, last time I was delusional. Like, we were...
Yes. And they were so weird because we did it at Travis's house, and then I didn't sleep until I got home. And then Travis lives like an hour away from me. So when I'm like, all right, I'm going home. Everyone's like, are you sure, man? I really don't think you should be driving. So I had the music blaring going home, and I'm just like hardcore Viking rocking all the way home, loud as I could be, keeping myself going. And, you know, we made it. Let's see. I hear they're making a Conjuring game. No thanks. Not even going to entertain the idea. Murdoch said do a 12-hour, the next 2-hour 48 minutes Two Beard stream. Yeah. Wait a tick. Am I just now noticing Travis's nose ring?
Yeah. Well, I've probably had that for about a year now.
Yeah, but it's subtle. Travis, keeps his piercings on the low. You know.
Yeah, all one of them.
Yeah, all one of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would be cool to do a big community thing if we can get it organized, get everyone involved, get all the beardlings involved, and let's figure out a way to do like a Pokemon Stadium tournament.
Okay.
Not where like, huh?
I was saying, all right, let's go back to that because earlier I was like, I want you to tell me why I should play Pokemon Stadium, like because I've never played Pokemon Stadium. Maybe it was another game, but I'm gonna do it for Pokemon Stadium too. I've never played Pokemon Stadium. In my brain, Pokemon Stadium is just the fighting mechanics from the Pokemon game, and that's it. Tell me where I'm wrong on this.
Okay, so Pokemon Stadium 1. I'm not even going to get into Pokemon Stadium 2 and Gale of Darkness and all of that stuff. I ain't going to worry about that. OG Pokemon Stadium 1, the first 150. Okay? First of all, it was the first game that went from 2D 16-bit Pokemon to 3D Pokemon.
Okay.
And it became a little bit more lively because now you got music. You're in the stadium. You've got the announcer doing his 5 lines that he would recycle through. And all of these different things. You could play in tournaments. You could challenge the Elite Four and all the trainers still. Like, they had mini games that you could... The mini games were so fun. And all that different kind of stuff. You could connect your Game Boy and import your Pokemon from your Game Boy game to Pokemon Stadium and use your Pokemon. It's special because it broke the mold on so many Pokemon stuff. But it is a basic game. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. It's not like an awe-inspiring, this was a revolutionary thing because of the simple concept. But it's so much fun to still play because you can just hash out old smack talk, I have settled many an argument over a Pokemon match. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
this is the closest thing to a duel we're going to get.
Pokemon Stadium, it was multiplayer, like you could play against your friends?
Yes.
So
you could play up to 4 people.
On Pokemon Stadium?
Yeah.
Okay, so how would you get your friends, like if they're coming over and they're playing on your system, like that's your Pokemon, how are you fighting your own Pokemon? How's that work?
Well, if you remember, N64s had 4 controller ports.
Okay.
And you would plug them all in, you would all gear up, you could play the mini games, but if you did Pokemon battling, you could do 2-in-2 battles.
But I'm just saying, the Pokemon specifically, like, are the Pokemon in the game ones that you've like leveled up yourself, or are they just like, this is just Charizard?
They've got preset ones, but you could have your Pokemon in there if you brought them in from your Game Boy game.
Oh, so people could bring their own Pokemon to the match.
Exactly.
That's
it got
cool.
very personal. It got very personal when it was your Pokemon. It was one thing to pick the preset ready to go Pokemon, but if you brought in your team and it was a grudge match, man, WrestleMania ain't got nothing on N64 Pokemon Stadium, man. I'm telling you.
Okay. Yeah,
so
cool.
That's why I think it would be great. Murdoch said I can bring food for y'all if it's at Travis's house. Hey, that's not a bad idea. I don't know anything about Pokemains. That's okay, buddy. We barely do. Let's be honest here. Dwart said nope. Stadium 2D to 3D full animation of the action. It was intense. Never played any of the Pokemon Stadiums. I feel like I'm missing out, dude. It's a great community game. Is all I'm saying. Handled many arguments over a Pokemon match. That cracked me up. Get a level 100 Mewtwo when you solo. You could,
dude. Talk about settling arguments as a kid during that time. However old we were. How about the original Super Smash Brothers? Like,
oh yeah,
you want to settle an argument? Like, you pick your best and you go at it. 3 stock, no time limit. Like, you can't just dispute.
And now
results.
I'm going to show my age because I did the same thing, but it was Mortal Kombat. Like,
yeah, I played.
It was a little bit more violent on my end of things. Yeah. But I think it would be a great, like, even if it was like a little 12-hour stream, because anybody could do 12 hours.
Yeah.
Even if we couldn't get like people there, if people could somehow get involved, like, we always do it for charity, right? if we did it for charity and people like bought into the tournament, they could send us their picks for their Pokemon, and then even if it was just you and me going through the bracket, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people could come if they wanted to. If they wanted to show up for their match and like hash it out and see how it goes. If you end up winning, you might have to hang out with us for a while though. And it's, let's be honest, that's very likely. If you know mostly anything about Pokemon, you're probably going to beat me. I'm just going to say.
That is very true. I remember when you settled an argument over Mortal Kombat, now you just 1v1 on COD. It is such a thing online I hear. Kids are like, 1v1 me, come on. 1v1 You're trash, 1v1 me. Yeah, that's totally this generation's of that. All right, let's bet on the Poke Match. I'll start us a book. Give your money for charity you owe if you want to keep your legs. I've seen streamers do this before, and I thought this would be a cool idea. Like, if we can get a good solid weekend and like pre-plan it, the stream goes as far or goes as long as the donations are made. So like, let's say every $1 equals an hour.
Yeah.
Or that would be rough. We'll say I'll
say $1 a minute.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's a running timer, and to keep the timer going, you donate to the charity, and then the timer gets bumped up.
That could be pretty cool. I mean, and it goes as long as it goes. Knowing our luck, though, that's when we go viral. And that's when Mr. Beast shows up.
Donates $1 million to charity.
$1 million. God. And that's a minute. How long is 1,000,000 minutes? I gotta know. Oh my God, Travis. 1,000,000 minutes. This can't be right. 1 year, 10 months, 4 weeks, 1 day, 4 hours, and 41 minutes. Working on a 30-day month.
All right, 60 minutes. So we're going to do 1 million divided by 60. That's 16,000 hours, 666. So how many hours in a day? 24. So we're going to divide that by 24. I did my calculator goofed up. Let me go back here. There we go.
Yeah. Also, I think we also got Dward on it. The moment we started talking about numbers, he's like, ugh.
212 hours. Okay.
Okay, that's what he said. Divide that by 24.
Why is my keypad's being goofy? What am I doing now? Dividing what by what?
212 by 24.
8.8, so 8 days.
So 8 days in roughly 8-ish hours?
Yeah, something like that. That's kidding. That's for... Oh, shut up.
This number I thought. Oh, man. I hope you were just thinking of a random number, but your math subliminally did the math, Cody.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't turn it off.
Okay, so 1,000,000 minutes divided by 60 minutes, that's 16,666 hours. All right, divide that by 24, gets you 694 days.
694 days.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's like 2+ years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll have to evidently hash out the number, the ratio to dollars per minute.
And also, I mean, we can cap it too. It's like, you know,
yeah.
Sunday night at 5 o'clock. I gotta go home.
I gotta go to work the next day. You know, but no, that would be fun, and we can just sort of go and do random things. We've proven to ourselves several times now that we can fill the time with video games. Easily. Yeah.
As long as we don't, for some stupid reason, try to stick to one game for the whole stream. Which I'll say, the Star Wars thing, bad idea. Last time we did the 24-hour stream, we just like happened to play Sea of Thieves for the whole time, and we're fine with it, which is a little sad, but
it makes me worry about us.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, we need something that could because the thing is with Sea of Thieves, you're constantly doing stuff, you're constantly making progress. It's a never-ending game. Something like that works. Like if we did Minecraft or the Mines of Moria, if it were out,
Right.
like where we're building something and people can. I think the Mines of Moria would be a good one now that I mention it, because people could get the game, jump on with us, and play online and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna be a part of this now," and then they're like, "All right, I gotta go," and then they bugger off,
Yeah.
So, yeah, something like that could work.
Yep. We need to do another Nuzlocke. I don't know why, but that just sounds fun.
I'm about to say the only thing we haven't talked about as far as Pokemon goes is a Nuzlocke. And for all of you that don't know, there is a partial Nuzlocke out there in the Two Beards universe.
Yep.
Where we started one, and the data got corrupted and we lost it.
Yeah.
It was an emulator. So and Travis, I gotta give kudos to Travis on this one, because he had this beautiful layout for this thing.
I'm proud of that. Yeah.
It was so beautiful. It was so light and wonderful. And every time we caught a Pokemon, he would drop the sprite image onto this rolling thing at the bottom. So our Pokemon were constantly just like moving across the screen. And it was I was like, dude, this is epic. I love this. It also got pointed out to us that we were so into our grinding.
Yes, I know you're
We
going.
killed a shiny and never realized it.
Yeah, it was a shiny Weedle, and this
It was a
like
shiny Weedle.
what
It was the only
version-
shiny I've ever encountered, and I killed it because I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, like how I forget which game it was, like which version. Pokemon.
Oh, it was Fire Red, I think.
That was like the OG.
Yeah, because we got a Charmander and we named him Quayton.
Clayton. Clayton, if you're listening to this, because I know you do, that was for you, buddy.
Yep. He died. Sorry. 'Cause the game got corrupted.
Yeah.
But no, hey, that could even be something fun to do on a stream like that, because if you do a Nuzlocke, you can get people to name the Pokemon and suddenly we're all invested, and it sucks when they die.
Right. Yeah.
God said playing one game over that time would honestly be great, but not for y'all. You go back and look at that Sea of Thieves one. We did it a lot.
Yeah.
Take a note out of Zach's book and have some community games. Yeah, the community games I think is the way to go, because Zach and Amy over at the Nerd Cave Network have had great success with their long streams, because they have community games and they get other people to come in and do stuff, and they keep it changing up like it's a broadcasting thing. They're really smart about it. So yeah, the community games is where it's at. Dwart, not sure how difficult it would be, but one or two all old games, or half all old games and half where watchers can join would be cool. Classic games are fun. People will watch people play old games. If we grinded out a Super Mario World for a few hours, people would eat it up.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't y'all miss out on a shiny? Yeah, not trying to get y'all with the pass. Yeah, thanks, Emily. Actually want to see y'all do a shiny Nuzlocke on Pokemon. Hey, go find that playlist on the channel. Yeah, it was Two Beards Pokemon Nuzlocke. Oh, Travis, I just remembered.
What?
You remember we had an extra layer to the Nuzlocke?
It was the Avatar Nuzlocke.
It was the Avatar Nuzlocke, because we couldn't just let sleeping dogs lie.
I'm gonna say I didn't know anything about Nuzlocks at the time. It was all your idea, and I was just like, sure, let's do it.
Just along for the ride, yeah. But this is a thing online. I found it online. Look up Avatar Nuzlocke, and it follows like rules for the Avatar The Last Airbender world. It's pretty interesting. Dwart said, haha, we made so much money on Sea of Thieves in that 24 hours. We did pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Emily, were y'all allowed to go to the hospital with the living Pokemon? What? Oh, yeah. The way it works is in a Nuzlocke, fainting equals death.
Yeah.
So even though you could go to the Pokemon Center and revive them and all that stuff, if your Pokemon fainted, no, it died, and you had to release it, and you could never use it again. But if your Pokemon had health of any kind, you could take it to the Pokemon Center, because they're still alive. So that's what would happen. Oh, here it is. Oh, our beards are so short!
I know. Oh, let's see. I'm gonna do audio. So this is gonna be Dude, we've got 16 episodes of this, but they're all like we sat down and
Short.
recorded and did like 10-minute episodes. Yeah, so
Yeah, we did them short. Oh man, this is so funny.
Or excuse me, Gamma Frack.
This is back when Noname's room was the office.
Gamma Fracke.
yeah.
Oh man, remakes look so good. Yeah, I've never actually played this remake. Faces.
Leaf
got a
green
section down
version.
There.
Oh, was it leaf
Pokemon
green?
In
Yeah.
our party, and then over
Okay.
there is the actual game and this scroll. I don't know if you guys have noticed yet, but the background is scrolling.
still then was
Really good. It's so good.
you're
Alright,
so excited about
but anyway,
it.
boom.
It was so good.
if you don't-
It was so good.
All right, let me see. I'm gonna go.
Like Avatar: The Last Airbender, we could be the Air
Us
Nation,
just
the Water
endlessly
Nation, the
talking
Fire
like we
Nation, or
do.
the Earth Nation.
Yeah.
And
I want to get.
I'm
I'm gonna go down. Let's see episode 4. I want to see some of the Pokemon.
Yes, our
Nice.
character
Damn it.
Travis.
Boy, Jerry.
Quayton and Jerry.
Quentin and Jerry.
Yep, and there they are. That was it. I wish.
Oh yeah,
Great video.
we got a few more. I think we got a few more Pokemon than this, but
I'm gonna go. Let's see. Mount Moon. Oh my god.
oh god, Dort said 2 beards the early years, short on beards but long on hopes and dreams.
Did you
Yes.
catch that, Trey? So at the
Uh-huh.
beginning of this one, it says when we last left our Pokemon trainers, and it's got like the intro to the anime.
Oh my gosh.
Pew Pew Waldo.
Oh, oh, okay, yeah. God, may I make a request for y'all to play Pokemon Soul Silver Nuzlocke? Hey, I'd be down. Go to episode 16 is what Emily said.
That's what we're on right now.
Oh yeah, we got a Jigglypuff, we got a Pikachu. Oh, I remember we had to get the Pikachu because Pikachu was one of the ones that we could actually catch, because we were a firebender.
Yes.
The way it works in the Avatar Nuzlocke is you pick based off of the number of your Pokemon trainer ID, what type of elemental bender you are, and you can only catch certain types of Pokemon. So if you came up to one and it was the first one in the area, but it wasn't the one you were allowed to catch, then you could beat it and go on. And the only one we could catch in the Viridian Forest was a Pikachu. Well, it's got like a 2% spawn rate. So we just grinded out trying to catch that Pikachu, and we almost didn't make it happen because we were getting too strong to fight the thing.
I'm going through the comments because I remember I think Woms made a comment about the shiny, and I'm wondering which episode it's in.
It had to have been when we were grinding out for the Pikachu.
Yeah. Oh.
Waldo? Where's Waldo? Oh, that's good.
Okay, there's Waldo. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember we named him Waldo because we were like, where is he?
Oh, here we go. Oh my god, it's a shiny Weedle. Look at the shiny things that pop up.
Oh!
Look, and if you look at me and you, we're not even looking at the screen.
No,
We're just pushing
grinding it
buttons.
out.
We're just pushing buttons.
Oh no! And see, I didn't have the sound in because you had your your earpiece in.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even hear what was going on. So I just never even realized that we did this, and we just demolished that shiny.
Yeah.
Man. Oh
Which
my god!
we couldn't have caught it anyway for the Nuzlocke, but still.
I know, but still.
Yeah.
Emily said one of Trey's greatest regrets. It is. I regret very little in my life. That was one.
See, I didn't even
Even
know
though it was a
shinies.
stupid Weedle.
I didn't even know shinies were a thing in these earlier games. Like, I didn't know.
Here's something to blow your mind. Shinies have always been a thing.
Really?
From
No,
the very beginning.
never knew that. How do you get a shiny in a black and white Game Boy game?
It's not black and white. No. I would have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure they've always been a thing. Yeah, well.
Yeah, everybody in the comments, you found a shiny Weedle and had to kill it.
Yep.
Oh,
we
man.
did. Yeah. So, yeah, I think doing another Nuzlocke would be fun. Maybe we can get good with emulators and not lose our data.
Yeah.
Or, you know what we probably could do?
Hmm.
Get on the Switch and just get a Pokemon game on there. I'm sure the old ones are on there.
Probably. I've got everyone except for the new one on the Switch.
Yeah.
So I got like the Let's Go, Diamond and Pearl, Sword and Shield. I think.
I believe the one requested was Soul Silver.
Yeah, I don't think that's on there.
We'll have to look.
I wonder. I think they got Game Boy Advance games on the Wii U if they haven't shut down the shop yet. And I've got a Wii U. That couldn't be much.
That'd be interesting. Dort said, so what's the benefit to a shiny? I believe nothing. They're just a different color.
They're just extremely rare.
They are very rare. It's
Yeah.
like 0.001% of it happening. Would love to see y'all try and fight Whitney on a Pokemon Soul Silver Nuzlocke. Would love to see the rage. Oh, yeah, that's why everyone hates that one. I remember now because Whitney's Miltank wrecks shop.
Oh, man.
He said Soul Silver is on DS.
Okay.
Ugh. So yeah, we got things we could do.
Good. Yeah. All right, sir. Well, it's about to be 9:00, and
I'm about to say we need to call it because we've been going for 2 hours.
yeah. But that was fun. Yeah, I'll just change the title to Two Beards Say, and then see.
Yeah. And we'll just leave that up there. Yeah, I won't even put this up on the podcast because it wasn't favored terrain.
No. Yeah, no, that's
But
fine.
next week on favored terrain, we'll
Next
actually do that show, and we'll talk about the new 1 D&D test material, and we still owe people an Artificer episode.
Yeah. When are your weeks off, Trey? So like the last 2 weeks of this month, or like the last week of this month and the first week of next month, or?
It's the last 2 weeks, so I'll have basically the 17th through the 2nd off.
Okay, cool. Well, we need to coordinate something
I agree.
during
I
that time,
agree.
even if it's via the internet playing something.
Yeah, I think we should stream and play video games because that's why we started this channel.
Well, technically, we started for the D&D content.
That's true too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm still down to do the
Sherlock Holmes thing.
yes. Oh, what were those characters' names?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Oatmeal and
Something truffle something.
yeah, hold on. I've got the characters right here on dndbeyond.com. Not sponsored, but they should be. Characters. All right, we had Waltzer. It was Oatmeal and Waltzer.
Oatmeal and Waltzer.
Yeah, Oatmeal, Truffle Stool, World's Greatest Detective, and his sidekick, Waltzer Lightstepper.
Nice.
It's one of the few instances where I was willing to break the path of the dwarf for you guys to play something not a dwarf.
All right. Well, thank you guys for all the chatting and the hanging out and everything. It's good. It's good to be on here. A little housekeeping. If you are over on Twitch, come find us on YouTube. YouTube is youtube.com/twobeardsplay. Give us a little sub. And if you're over on Twitch, give us a follow. And all the other things. Go find us on Patreon, where we've got some really cool D&D or tabletop RPG related tiers that pretty sweet, So go check them out. There's something I think for everybody over there, depending on what you're into. And next week, next Sunday, same time, same place, we'll probably talk about D&D.
Yeah, specifically the new 1 D&D material, if you're into that. Great compliments I'm seeing here in the chat. God said, y'all should be proud. This is the longest stream I've ever watched. Boom. I love it. We love the community. Love it. Dort said, good to see you guys. Good to see you too, buddy. Glad y'all jumped in and was chatting.
Yeah.
It makes me feel good that people actually do enjoy talking with us when we do these things.
Yeah, we'll have to get DeWart in the next Sea of Thieves.
Oh, yeah. We need to do another Sea of Thieves stream.
Yeah. All right. Well, God bless you guys. We're out.